I'm back for Everlasting Summer. Yeah, let me make sure I'm actually live. There we go. What happens if I make it full screen? Let's keep it windowed like that. Alright. So this disclaimer makes the game look very interesting. This game was a work of fiction and its author's imagination. It does not aim to offend, insult, or discriminate anyone on a religious, social, economical, species, or any other basis. Any violation of the player's aesthetic, sensitivity, active citizenship, or any other spiritual impulse lies on their conscience. Any resemblance of the characters to blah blah blah, coincidental, Karens are 18 plus, everyone consented, no one got hurt. Alright, happy reading. Alright, gallery. Okay, so there's 10 pages of what seems like 12 CGs each. So it's like 120 CGs. Music. It's a lot of tracks. Whoa. Oh, that's it? Oh, I thought it went... Oh, no, it does go all the way. What? Okay. Backgrounds. Sprites. Okay, they have the whole suite here. Okay, dear Pioneer, you are on the verge of wondrous discoveries, the doors of the most wonderful place in the world. Your favorite camp, Sovvianak, have opened before you. You'll remember this session for the rest of your life. Welcome. Treat the history of our camp with care, thoroughly write down all your observations and thoughts of these days past. Using the savings, you will always be able to come back to the already completed episode and interpret it again. Good luck with all your undertakings. And this is our photography club. Your comrades are always ready to capture the most important moments of the camp's life, and you can even see yourself on many of the photographs. Keep yourself tidy and be a role model to those around you. Settings. Oh, there's settings. Wow, the settings are interesting. Okay, I'm checking something real quick. Alright. Text speed, all the way up. Font, normal, language. Show game achievements, yeah, sure. Okay, there's mods, wow. Filter management. I don't know what that is. Alright, let's start the game. So I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of reading in this. I was having that dream once again. Can I just like click that way? That dream. The same thing every night. But it's all forgotten in the morning as usual. Maybe it's for the best. Only a glimpse of memory will remain of gates half opened, as if inviting me somewhere, with two frozen stone pioneers standing close by. And also that strange girl. keeps asking me. Will you come with me? Come? But where? And why? And where am I anyway? Of course, if it all happened in real life, I would certainly have been scared. What else could one expect to feel? But this is just a dream. The same one I see every night. There must be a reason. You don't have to know where or why to realize something is really happening. Something desperately seeking my attention. Since everything that surrounds me here is real. As real as things in as real as things in my own flat. I could open the gates, hear the hinges creak, brush the crumbling rust away with my hand, inhale the fresh, cool air, and shiver from the cold. I could. But to do that, I would need to pick myself up, take a step, move my hand. But this is a dream. I understand that. But what of it? What does my understanding change? Because here it's just like on the other... Okay, let's take a break to look at the background. I can't read that. That's in a different language. Alright, so there's two statues on our gate. There's a star in it. There's a little owl up there. I thought I saw it blink, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, right there, just blinked, whatever. Because here, it's just like on the other side of the cracked screen of an old TV, which struggles to fight against static noise and strives to show its audience everything without missing a single detail. But the picture is getting blurry. I must be waking up soon. Maybe I should ask her something. The girl. What's her name? About the stars, for instance. Why the stars, though? I'd rather ask about the gates. Yes, the gates. She would be so surprised. Or better, why the dot on an I was called a tittle, but the dot over a J is called a superscript dot. Nice letters. As if they don't exist anymore. What? What is this? What are you thinking? Still, what do letters, gates, and stars have to do with this place? Because even if I'm having this dream every night, which will be forgotten soon anyway, I've got to look for answers here and now. And there, if you look carefully, you can see the metallic Magellanic clouds. Okay. As if I'd ended up in the southern hemisphere. Very interesting. Why do you care so much about clouds? In a dream, there are small things that catch your attention. An unnatural color of grass, impossible curves of straight... Why am I yawning so much? In a dream, there are small things that catch your attention. An unnatural color of grass, impossible curves of straight lines, or your own distorted reflection, while the real danger, which could put an end to every right here and now, or everything right here and now, seems trivial. It's natural, since here you cannot die. I know it for sure. I've done it hundreds of times. But if you cannot die, is there a point in living? I should ask the girl. She's a local. She should know. Yes, exactly. I should ask her about the owl, for example. On strange bird it is, though it doesn't matter. What's with this flashing? Am I blinking? Is that when I blink? Will you come with me? And every time I have to answer. It's the only way, otherwise the dream will never end, and I will never wake up. Ah, wait, I can't save. No. There we go, save game. Can I name it? Save game. I can't name it. Sure, I'll go with you. Every time, it's so hard to decide on the answer. Where am I? What am I doing here? Who is she? And why does so much depend on my life? Why does so much in my life depend on this answer? Or maybe it doesn't. It's just a dream after all. Just a dream. Blink, blunk, blunk. No. Oh wow, nice keyboard. I chose to go with you. Does that mean anything? Or was that a meaningless choice? You didn't say anything about going with her afterwards. Ooh, Lazy Town. Looking up those Lazy Town people I see. What are you looking at? What is this? It's in a Cyrillics, I think. So I can't read it? What is this? What are you looking at? The computer screen stared at me as if it was alive. No, that's the blink. So what was happening before? Why was it turning black before? Sometimes it really did seem to me that it was conscious of itself. It had its own thoughts and wishes, ambitions, that it had feelings, could love and suffer. As if in our relationship, the screen wasn't an instrument. It was to me who was a lifeless piece of plastic and metal. Plastic and text. Oh, light. What are these words? Why am I so bad at reading? Ah! There is some truth in that. Probably because the computer provides 90% of my communication with the outside world. Oh, stay inside all the time on your computer. Browsing iichan.ru. I guess that's what it is. Anonymous image boards, some charts from time to time, rarely ICQ or Jabber, and forums even more rarely. Blink. Does this blinking have anything to do with it? With the thing? Or am I like falling asleep and then waking up every time I close my eyes? People on the other end of the internet cable simply do not exist. That is not true. All of them are simply creations of its sick imagination, an error in the source code, or a kernel bug which started living a life of its own. Okay. What's this? Hello? Ooh, nice ceiling. If one looked at my existence from the outside, such thoughts would seem crazy, and a psychologist would surely give me a bunch of sophisticated diagnoses and maybe write me a doctor's referral to the loony bin. Oh, daytime. Good morning. It's very interesting. What am I doing? Are these all those CGs? It's like 120 CGs, just me like looking around my room. A small apartment with no signs of repair or semblance of order in it, and always the same view out of the window and the gray megalopolis running somewhere day and night. Such are the conditions of my life. Well, of course I didn't start it all like that. Well, of course, it didn't all start like this. I was born, went to school, and finished it like all the others. I was accepted at a university where I spent a year and a half trailing behind and struggling. I drifted through several jobs. Sometimes I was working out quite well. Sometimes I was even getting decent money for it. But it all felt like it was not mine, as if taken from another man's biography. I wasn't living life to the fullest. It was looping over and over in monotonous circles, just like the movie Groundhog Day. It's just that I had no choice in how to spend my day, and every day repeated itself, the same vicious spiral. Oh, this is relatable. I can relate to that. Oh. A spiral of emptiness, misery, and despair. Spirals have a special meaning to me now, especially since I read Uzumaki by Junji Ito. Spirals. I love spirals now. For the last few years, I just sat in front of the screen all day. Sometimes there were menial jobs, sometimes my parents helped me. All in all, I was able to provide for myself. No wonder really, since my needs are quite minor. I hardly ever leave my home, and my communication with other people almost exclusively consists of online correspondence with the anonymous, who have no real name, no gender, no age. So in brief, a quite typical life for a typical antisocial person of his time. Kind of Donnie Darko on a minor scale without doomsday-related visions. Maybe some highly respected author. Oh, author. I forgot that was a word. Will write a novel about me, and it will become a contemporary classic of modern literature. Or I will write one on myself. However, what's the point of fooling myself? I tried many times, but I couldn't even come up with a simple short story. I tried to learn many other things as well. Not gifted enough to draw, programming, got bored. Foreign languages takes too much time. The only thing I loved was reading, but still, I never would have called myself a scholar. Perhaps I was an ace at watching anime and a grandmaster of lame internet jokes. If I were to get paid for it, I would probably be a happier person, and a richer person too. Yeah, you get paid for doing what you do, you'd be richer. But I doubt it would fill the hole inside of me. Huh, so relatable. I relate with him so much. Ooh, is it snowing? Oh, I love snow. Oh, so much text. Ugh. I'm gonna run out of voice very soon. Oh, that noise is coming from the game. I was like looking around. Like, where is this noise coming from? But it's coming from the game. Today was another typical day of typical failures, typical life. And today is the day when I have to go to my university reunion. I don't know why I'm struggling to read this so much. I liked there was no game because there was narration. I could sit back and like let them do the reading or the talking for me. I wouldn't have to do that, but now I have to read. Frankly speaking, I really didn't want to. What's the point? The time I spent with them was so short. However, I was persuaded by a friend, my former university mate, and one of the few with whom I kept in touch, other than through the internet. What is this? Warp speed? Am I running? Am I running there? Am I jumping on over the tops of buildings like a... Did I jump off the top of the building? This is very nice, like the graphics, like the way they portray the movement. Is that me? Oh look, some little chibi girls. A frosty evening. Bus stop. Waiting. I never liked winter. Though hot summer is not my season either. It's just that I see no reason to point out any particular time of the year. It doesn't matter much what the weather is outside when you stay home 24/7. Not really. It gets cold in the winter and it gets hot inside in the summer, so it doesn't matter. Gotta make sure it's not uncomfortable. The bus today was running so late that I was about to curse it all and spend my last few hundreds of rubles for a taxi. The idea of just returning home didn't cross my mind for some reason. As usual, millions of thoughts flew through my mind, but there was not a single useful one to seize on. Such a thought that you could bring into existence, give a shape, and turn into an idea and put into practice. Maybe I could start my own business, but where would I get the money from? Or maybe I could go back to working in an office? No way. Maybe I should try freelancing. How has he been living until now? Is he living with his parents? I don't remember that. Did he say he was living with his parents or something? Because how is he living right now without money? Is he making money? I don't know. But what skills do I have, and who would want me after all? Suddenly I remember... okay. I think I'm reading too fast for my mouth to move, and that's why I'm getting tripped up. Gotta read slower. But I want to get to the action. It's too much build up, too much preamble. Alright, I suddenly remembered my childhood, or rather, my teen years, when I was 15 to 17 years old. Why exactly those years? No idea. I guess it's because back then, everything was much more simple. It was easier to make decisions, so complicated now and so simple then. Waking up in the morning, I knew exactly how my day was going to pass, and I always eagerly looked forward to the weekend. Then I could get some rest and have time for the things I liked: computer, football, going out with friends. And then, at the beginning of next week, I'd take up my studies again. Back then, there were no such worrying questions like why, who needs it, what will change if I do it, or what will not change. A simple lifestyle, so casual for any person, and so odd to myself today. That careless childhood age. It was also then that I met my first love. Her appearance and personality have vanished from my memory. What? Why? Is it a Lazy Town girl? You like that little Lazy Town girl, huh? Only her name remains, like a brief line from a social network profile, along with the feelings which overwhelmed me when I was with her. Affection, tenderness, and the desire to care for her and protect her. Sadly, it didn't last long. Today I can hardly imagine something like that happening. I would probably like to meet a girl, but I don't know how to start a conversation, what on earth to discuss, and how to attract her. Well, I haven't met any suitable girls for a long time, but where could I meet one anyway? On the internet. The sound of an engine brought me back to reality. The bus pulled over. There was something abnormal about it, I thought. Then again, it doesn't matter. Only the 410 runs this route. It looks very decrepit. Oh? What? Who is this? The magic school bus. Beep beep. That's interesting. Streetlights pass me by, as if their cold light sparks inside of me. Imagine trying to ignite feelings long dead. Or maybe not ignite, just awaken them. Because those feelings, they have been living in me for a long time, slumbering and waking up again. The driver's radio was playing a very familiar tune, but I wasn't listening to it. I was watching the cars passing by through the fogged up window. Because people were always rushing somewhere, chasing something they need, stuck in their own little worlds. Why would they care about mine? They probably have their own serious problems, or maybe they just have much easier lives. You can't know for sure, since all people are different. Or are they? Sometimes someone's actions can easily be predicted, but if you try to look inside his soul, you will only see the impenetrable darkness. The bus was approaching downtown, and my thoughts were interrupted by bright city lights. Hundreds of billboards, thousands of cars, millions of people. I watched this light show, and somehow I got terribly sleepy. Oh, going to sleep again. My eyes closed just for a moment, and then... And what? Do I go back to the gate? Or is this opening? Oh, Oh, look at that animation. Oh, the sign changed. Oh, the 410 bus. Oh. I thought there was a mouth. That wasn't... Okay. Is there no bus driver? Oh, hello. Who are you? Are you the girl I liked when I was a kid in middle school? Oh, great name. Wonderful. Hey, I like what I see. Oh. Is that a pedo bear? Does she have a pedo bear? Was I naked in that? What is this? Oh, is that Hatsune Miku? What's Hatsune Miku in this game? Muki? I can't read that. Is there a devil? Is that a demon? Why is there... What? Oh, there's someone here. Hello. Oh, wow. There's someone watching me. Oh, you're Russian. That's cool. I was just playing another Russian game, apparently. There is no game. Right. Bright daylight struck my eyes. At first, I didn't pay attention, as I wasn't fully awake yet. On their own, my legs carried me towards the door. Is this the 410 bus? It's different. Nice curtains and everything. No bus driver. Damn. Looks like I fell asleep and missed my stop. Okay, so my name is Semyon. Semyon. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna call it Semyon. Oh, you really? This game's your favorite game? Well, I hope it'll become my favorite game. Right now, I'm like really into it. I'm really excited to see where it goes. It seems very interesting right now. But there was no door. I looked around the bus and realized that it wasn't a good old worn-out Liaz. Instead, the bus was an Icarus model, a new one. I froze in shock. How? What? Am I dead? Have I been kidnapped? No, I must be dead. I patted myself down feverishly, slapped myself painfully in the face a few times, banged my forehead on the back of one of the bus seats. It's clear. Either I'm still alive, or you can still feel pain when you're dead. But how did this happen? Maybe I slept for too long and ended up at the bus depot. Then what? Did they put me into another bus? This is a 410 bus. I rushed out and took a look around. Greenery wherever I looked. A tall grass on the roadside, trees, flowers, summer. Summer? But how? Summer? Oh, it was winter just a moment ago. My head was aching unbearably, as if it was going to explode. Slowly, I began to remember. Nice eye. I like the graphics. These graphics are really interesting. A long road running off into the distance. Forests, plains, fields, lakes, and forests again. I think I was sleeping, but then how can I remember all of it? And then, a gap. Some girl leaning over me. She softly whispered something into my ear. Then a gap again. Then I woke up here. Who was that strange girl? Or was she just a dream? For some reason, thinking about her made me feel better and calmed me down a little. I felt warmth all over, coming from the inside. Could it be her who brought me here? Then I need to find her. And the best place to look for her is away from here. I rushed to the left, then to the right, and stopped, hesitating over where to go. Finally, I ran in the direction from which the bus had probably come. Ooh, I got a follower. Oh, did I miss the line? Actually, left line. Okay, no. Thanks for following me. Physical exercise does refresh one's mind. Thoughts become clearer, and it gets a little easier to evaluate the surrounding reality. Not in my case, however. I was sitting on the roadside, wheezing and trying to ease my sore throat by gulping breaths of hot air. In any case, the run did its job. The fear withdrew for a while. Maybe I really am just dreaming. Though recalling my self-harm on the bus. Self-harm? I immediately rejected the idea. Self-harm? What did I do on the bus? Did I miss something? I'm neither dreaming nor dead. A narrow road ran through the fields and far into the distance. The exact same road from my dream. I must be very far away from home. And it's not just that it was winter yesterday and it's summer now. It's the whole environment. Of course, summer is usually like this, green and hot, but here everything is not entirely lifelike. Everything looks like it was taken from paintings of Russian landscape artists on the 19th century. The grass is just too lush. The bushes are not like what bushes should be. They're also thick, they're so thick you can't see anything through them. Like treetops, honestly. And the trees themselves. The forest was quite far away, but the trees looked as if they had closed their ranks and were now just waiting for the order to advance into the open fields and plains. I caught my breath and looked at the bus, which was now barely visible. It was a good run. Fear overtook me once again. Those power lines. There must be people here. But what does it mean? In fact, it means nothing at all. Couldn't they have power lines even in hell? Roasting sinners over hot coals. That's so last century. I must have reached the point of no return, after which you could either lose your mind completely or finally try to understand what is going on. And while I still have a choice, I could pick the second option. I slowly headed back to the bus. Of course it was scary, but I'm not likely to find an answer in the fields or woods, and this wretched out bucket of bolts is the only kind of link that I have with the real world. Ah, it's the gate from the dream! Where's the owl? I love my favorite owl. Is this gonna hide the text? Alright. That didn't really reveal much else. So he's drinking something. I don't know what she's doing. I should carefully scout the area. I can't pronounce that, but okay. The brick wall and its gates crowned with a owlet sign, statues of pioneers standing on either side, and road sign nearby showing the bus route number 410. The trip's taking a bit too long today. I smirked. A person may start acting inappropriately in extreme situations. Something like that is probably happening to me now. The place didn't look abandoned at all. No rust on the gates, no damage to the walls. Owlet. What could have a name like that? Judging by the pioneer statues, it could be a kid's summer camp. Moreover, it appears to be open. Of course, the simplest explanation, logically speaking, explains nothing at all. The strange girl, the altered bus, summer, the pioneer camp. Thousands of theories went through my mind instantly, from alien abduction to lethargic sleep, from hallucination to time and space shift. None was worse than any other, but there was really no way to pick a single one. Then it occurred to me, I can try to make a phone call. I took out my cell phone and dialed the number or dial the first number from my contact list. Oh, don't pick up. They don't like me. But instead of the signal strength bars, the screen was showing a thick cross. Very thick. Alright, there may be no signal in such a remote place, though I cannot be the only one who came here. Buses don't drive themselves. I examined the bus from all sides to make sure I wasn't a hallucination. Bits of dirt on the bottom, some rust here and there, faded paint, and worn out tires. No, this is definitely a very ordinary Icarus. Yeah, exactly the kind of bus which takes you to places beyond your understanding if you carelessly fall asleep. I gave a nervous chuckle. It came out by itself, sporadically, because there wasn't the right place or time to laugh. But where on earth is the driver? I cautiously sat down on the curb beside the bus and started to wait. Just drive the bus yourself. My patience didn't last long. My anxiety seemed to have reached its peak, and I started to go slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone could have probably felt something similar. Aliens and parallel universes were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Is this how everything will end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so much. There was so many things that I had no time for yet. I was overwhelmed by the idea. This was definitely the end. But why? It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone else. God, why? Go to sleep again. Oh, I'm awake. Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did I do? Why me? But my cries were only heard by the speechless statues of the pioneers and birds on a tree, which immediately flapped its wings and took off, crying out something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt its after-dinner nap. I was left breathless from weeping and just lay quietly sobbing occasionally. After a while, I managed to pull myself together. My mind cleared up a bit, as if terror and the fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is it all for? It doesn't look like an experiment either. If this is just some crazy coincidence, then there's probably no threat. Anyway, for now, it seems there's no danger. The panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my temples, and my hands were shaking, but at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there's nothing I can really change anyway. So, no matter how much I think, or how mad I get, it would probably make things worse. Until some actual facts appear, there is really no point in making guesses. In any case, I won't learn anything by lounging about here. This camp, if, of course, it is really a camp, looked like the only place where people could be, so I decided to go there. And hardly had I reached the gates when a girl came out from behind them. Wearing a pioneer uniform. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, a pioneer uniform in the 21st century. Then again, a girl. Here. I froze, unable to take a step. I felt very much like running away. I felt very much like, running as far as I could from this place, far away from the bus, gates, statues, and far away from this bloody bird with its siesta. Just running free, like the wind, faster and faster, waving to the planets passing by, and winking at the galaxies. Running, becoming a pulsar ray, and turning into a vestigial radiation, running to face the unknown. What? What? Okay. No matter where, as long as it's far away from this place. Oh, she's getting closer. Uh-oh. Danger. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and smiled. I could not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear. Yeah, it's pretty scary. Well, you should be scared. You have a good reason to be scared. Girls are scary. Human instincts work independent of consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life and in particular, ensuring the stable functioning of the hormonal system. I desperately wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking informal quotes from an encyclopedia, though my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue of the hero of some junky softcover crime fiction book. The pretty Slavic face, long braids that looked like 2 armfuls of fresh hay, and blue eyes I could drown in. Pioneer Girl. Hi. Oh, I don't need to read the name. Hi. You must have just arrived. You know what? I'll just reply. I'm not gonna. Should I save? I'll save. Reply. Yeah. Alright then, welcome. Or, alright then, welcome. She smiled broadly. Strange, it looked as if strange, it looked as if I had just a normal girl in front of me. Bah, I shouldn't have returned here. The woods and fields seemed better. What shall I do next? I try to speak to her as if she was a human, or run away, or what? She seems very human to me. The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from inside. A little bit more, and the poor Pioneer Girl would be splattered with gruesome contents of my skull. Huh. What's so funny about that? The girl looked me over. It sent shivers down my spine. Oh, she's checking me out. Ooh, such a popular guy. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees started to tremble. Nothing. Great, then. Great? What's so great about that? Suddenly, a thought crossed my mind. To hell with it all. Forget about the bus behind me, the fact that it was winter yesterday and summer today. I wanted to rip off my itchy sweater and just accept that this was all actually happening. Everything as it should be. All this is for the best. Would you happen to know? You should go to our camp leader. She'll tell you everything. Look, you go straight ahead to the square, then turn left. You'll see several small cabins. She pointed at the gates as if I knew what was behind them. Well, oh, I missed it. How do I go back? Okay, well, you can ask someone where Olga Dmitrieva's cabin is. Is a patronymic, a derivative of a person's father's name, but put by Russians after the person's first name as a sign of respect to formal address. Okay. It's a bit much. Got it? Of course I didn't. Well, I've got to go now. The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared through the gates. It seemed as if to her I was something ordinary. And all this show with the bus and the travels while awake or asleep were troubling only to me, while everything here was just the way it's supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform, what are they doing here? What are they doing, a historical reenactment here? What, are they doing What, are they doing a historical reenactment here? There we go. I hope I won't find Lenin standing atop an armored car in this square, but even that would not surprise me now. After standing alone for a while, I headed to the camp. A mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped up on the left side. It's very dilapidated. The windows cracked, paint like chipping, writing all over it. A sign near the door said clubs. I was about to come closer. Oh, girl number 2. Another girl. Great. Whew. When the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing a pioneer uniform came out. Her pretty face gave me the impression of one suffering for the fate of the whole mankind with a truly universal sorrow. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze as if frightened. I froze too, considering what was the best to do, approach first or wait until someone showed some initiative. Fight or flight, or playing dead. If you stand still, she won't see you. Alright? That's some advice. Stand still, and yeah, she won't see you. Or maybe run away after all. Although this last option was constantly being suggested only by my self-preservation instinct. At least that's what I'd like to believe. Yes, self-preservation. She's gonna eat you if you don't run away. Not the worst human instinct, but far from the most logical. If this instinct played a poker game against dual deductive abilities, the outcome would be predetermined. And those deductive abilities, or at least their resemblance, were hinting to me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Oh, little tiny girl. She's so small! Wait. I thought she was bigger. Suddenly, somebody jumped out of the nearby bushes. The girl wearing a red t-shirt with the USSR written on it. Such a perfect reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from the distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls. The one... Oh, I love this. I love the music. The music is great. Is Hatsune Miku music? Is that is Hatsune Miku singing this? She looked quite short from a distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls. The one at the gates and this girl at the door of the clubs. At last, I decided to come closer, but the USSR girl, as I called her in my mind, jumped towards the first girl and started telling her something while wildly waving her arms. The other girl the other girl in turn seemed confused and lowered her gaze, remaining silent. I would have probably continued to observe their amusing dialogue, but the USSR suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started waving it in front of the girl's face. Something turned out to be a grasshopper. Oh, this something turned out to be a grasshopper. Eee! The first girl squealed. She must not be too keen on insects, but she instantly rushed off towards the place where Lenin presumably made his speech about the workers, pioneers, where he made his speech about the workers and peasants' revolution. This is to say, towards the square. The USSR glanced at me, grinned playfully, and dashed after her. Yes, she is the USSR, this girl. Not bad. Not a bad start to the day. I have absolutely no clue where I am. Besides that, there are some kinds of role-playing, some kids here playing as pioneers, and as far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from home. This might be a very different reality. This was indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seemed so real, if a little embellished, that I was starting to think that, in fact, my previous life could have been just a dream. And what am I supposed to do now? I was picking at the cracked paving stones with my shoe and staring aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with some decision. Then that's when I recalled myself rolling on the grass, weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct. When all energy for whimpering and self-pitying is used up, the body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option, because out of the blue I found the determination to figure out what was going on. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world. I followed the path to the left, on the straight side of which stood a small cabins, apparently the homes of the local pioneers. Actually, they looked quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, I had never been part of its children's organizations, neither the pioneers nor even the younger October children. I imagined the daily life of a typical pioneer camp, but a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks. Wake up call at 6 o'clock, played by a siren, 1 minute to make your bed, and then joining the formation at the drill square. Or wait, could I be confusing this with something else? Probably. Suddenly, something struck me on the back. I staggered but remained on my feet. I turned around and prepared to fight heroically for my life. Oh. But I found there was another girl standing before me. Her mouth was hung open in surprise. Pick your job off the ground. I closed my mouth. The same pioneer uniform, but the way she was wearing it looked very provocative. Yes, very provocative. Like the other girls I had met here before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. New here, are you? Fine, see ya. Is she not an angry girl? I thought she looked very angry before. Fine, see ya. She threw a threatening glance at me and walked past. Yeah, she seems very intimidating. Alright, I gotta give her that stern voice. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn at the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to. Most interesting thing was that even the salsa girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give off the feeling of some deadly danger, except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. At last, I managed to make it to the square. There was no Lenin or Amirch car, although one could easily expect something like that after all this had happened. Instead, however, a monument of a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read Genda. Must be some big figure in the party. There were some small benches at the sides. It's quite pleasant here. Where did that girl tell me to go? To the left or the right? To the left, to the right. To the left, to the right. And why am I going there anyway? Ah, right. I decided to pretend to be normal. So to the right. I think that's the wrong way. I think she said left. Through a small grove. I came out at a pier. I must have taken a wrong turn. Hey, wrong way! I turned towards the voice. Oh. Nice! The first girl stood before me. Now what did I tell you? Take a left at the square, wasn't it? She had changed from pioneer outfit to a bikini. Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavia. Actually, my full name's Slaviana, but everyone calls me Slavia. You can too. Yeah, this voice is gonna get annoying, I feel. Yeah. I felt a bit confused, so I could not come up with the more meaningful answers. Hey, what's your name? It felt like she could see right through me. Yeah. Semyon. Nice to meet you, Semyon. Alright, I'm almost done here. Could you wait here a minute? I'm going to change and we'll go to Olga Dmitrievna together. Agreed? Agreed. After this exchange, she ran off. I sat on the pier and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but such weather there was nothing wrong with getting my feet wet. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little. Looking at the river, I was brainstorming and processing everything that had happened. If this is some kind of conspiracy with the weird one, even too friendly at times. No, it really looks more like a random event. Some entirely incomprehensible random event. Shall we go? Aw, she put clothes on. Boo! Bad game. 0 out of 10. Sylvia was standing beside me, dressed in her pioneer uniform again. Let's go. I've been here for a very short time, but all the people I met looks very suspicious. Okay, I've been here for a very short time, but of all the people I've met, she looks the least suspicious. However, this fact is already suspicious itself. We walked to the square. The USSR girl, or the USSR, and the girl who hit me on the back where they're chasing each other. Is this some kind of game they're playing? Ulana. Ulyana. I'll just call her Ulana. Ulyana. Enough running, I'll tell everything to Olga Dimitrievna. Aye aye, Captain. Or, aye aye, Captain! I decided not to question Sylvia. I don't know what to call her. I'll just call her Sylvia. For a while. I did decide not to question Sylvia for a while about what was going on, or the local residents. Better meet with this mysterious Olga Dimitri first. I'm also gonna call that Olga Dimitri. Sounds like she's the boss here. We walked past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which looked like fat beer barrels, while others looked like more like household sheds. Finally, Sylvia stopped in front of the smallish one-story cabin. That's a nice house, or that's a nice cabin. Once again, it's chipping though. It looked like an artist's painting had the faded paint chipping here, and it looked like an artist's painting. The faded paint, chipping here and there with age, was sparkling in the sun. The window shutters, slightly ajar, were swaying almost unnoticeably in the wind, and huge lilac bushes were growing at the sides. It seemed as if this ramshackle hut was drowning in a storm of purple silk, and the lilacs, like some elemental force, were inexorably destroying the rooftop's leader, destroying the troop leader's house. What are you standing around for? Let's go. Sylvia snapped me out of my daydreaming. And stop teasing Lena already. Ah! Jump scare. Oh, jeez. Ooh. That scared me. Was she holding a butcher knife and glowing red eyes? Rena. Sounds like there's something inside. Or it sounds like there's someone inside. Indeed, a moment later, the door swung open and Yelena ran out, or the USSR ran out and dashed past me with a mischievous grin. The pigtailed girl came out next. Don't let her bother you, Lena. So her name is Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Rena, at least. Why? But I don't... Instead of finishing her sentence, she blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason, I felt like turning and following her with my eyes, but Sylvia said, "Come." We entered the cabin. I like that. I like this poster. Cool. It's very cozy, though. And this one looks interesting too. Paper bag on the head. Is that a paper bag on their head too? We entered the cabin. Inside it looked like something similar to what we'd imagined. 2 beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe. Nothing special, but at the same time it felt like a home. It felt home-like and cozy. Although this room was almost the same, in the same state or disordered as my own flat. The girl standing near the window appeared to be about 25 years old. Oh, too old. No, that's way too old. Nature had obviously gifted her with a pretty face and a good body. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium. The locals are beautiful. Yeah. Yes. Wonderful. You're finally here. Oh, you're finally here. You're excellent. My name is Olga Dimitri. I'm the camp leader. Nice to meet you. I'm Simon. I decided to talk as if I wasn't surprised by anything that was going on. She came closer. Oh, is she gonna check me out too? Oh. We've been expecting you since early morning. You've been expecting me? Yes, of course. And what does the next bus come? Why do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? I guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike how I'd prefer. And I doubt I'd get any answers. No reason, just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Our mailing address, I mean? I wanted to send letters to my parents to tell them I got here. Fine. For some reason, I had the desperate idea that if I played along, I could find something out. Oh, but your parents called just half an hour ago, sent their regards to you. Now that's a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. Oh, that was me. No. She gave a sweet, spontaneous smile. Why not? We don't have a phone here. Then how did his parents call? What? I think she's crazy. Hey, Simon, whatever your name is. Stay away from this one. She's a bit, she got a screw loose or two. Then how could my parents make a call to here? I've just come back from the district's central town. I talked with him there. Ah, so that's how it is. And can I somehow get to the town? No. Well, she kept the same smile. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. No, I would get no answer anyway. All this time, Sylvia was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing to add in our conversation. Oh, and we did need to find a uniform for you. I got absolutely no desire to put on pioneer shorts or to wear the ridiculous red neckerchief. However, wearing winter clothes in the summer isn't a great idea either. Right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone's wearing a winter coat in such heat. Radio, I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come to dinner or in the evening. Having said that, she walked out of the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out, ending up leaving me alone with Slavia. Oh, I see how it is. She don't like me, huh? I must go too. I got things to do. Take a walk. Look around the camp a little. Take a walk. Look around the camp a bit. See you in the morning. If there is no threat to catch or to... Okay. If there is no threat or catch to this, then this is reality, as embodied as by Slavia, becomes more and more appealing. For the first time today, I realized that I was awfully hot there, although obviously my winter clothes were to blame for that. I took off my coat and dropped it onto the bed. I pullover followed it. Now I was only wearing the shirt. That's much better. All I could do now was follow their advice and go look around this camp. I'll try to find something in the meantime. Passing the local residential district. Give me a second. Right, I'm back. I just had to take care of something. Passing the local residential district, I saw a pioneer guy coming my way. Oh, there's a boy here. What? And this was really a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently there was even men even in this kingdom of Amazons. Hey, what's there a man doing in my fantasy world? Get out of here. It's a girls only. Girls club. Except for me. Hello. You're new here. You must be Saman, right? And how do you know? Everyone knows already. I'm Electronic. Wow, wonderful name. Electronic, by the way. The real one. You can call me that. Electronic was a popular robot character appearing in a popular Soviet film book series. He looked like an exact copy of a school kid called Sergei Chizkov. Electronic, the real one. Electronic, the real one. Things were going from crazy to completely insane. Alright. The USSR calls me Cheesy. Cheesy. On toast with mushrooms? Because my last name is Chizkov. I see. Let me show you around. I accept his offer, as it would have taken much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. I ended up at the square again, as if this place was all there was to the camp. Lena was sitting on one of the benches reading some book. Electronic confidently approached her. Hello, Lena. Meet the new guy, Saman. He started briskly. Or stared. Hello. Well, you could say we've already met in a way. Yes. She looked away from the book for a moment, glanced at me, blushed, and went back to reading, as if not noticing that we're still here. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's go on. I was at first surprised that meeting this girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought it was better that way. Electronic's vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. Alright, let's go. Next we came to a building which I instantly identified as the canteen. And this here. I know, this is where you consume organic food. Yeah, something like that. Oh, mean girl. Oh, there's someone here. Hello. On the canteen's porch stood the unfriendly girl who hit me on the back earlier. At the sight of her, my joking mood vanished in the blink of an eye. Really, now is not the best time to be pulling this guy's leg, even though he is quite hilarious. First, I need to figure out what's going on here, or at least where I am. Her over there. That's Alisa Dvachevskaya. Be careful around her. He spoke in a whisper. Don't even risk calling her Dvache. She doesn't like that. Dva means two in Russian. The whole nickname sounds like Tuch. Tuch. Sounds exactly like Tuch in Russian. Reference to the Tuch, the RU anonymous image board. Huh? Okay. What did you say? What did you say? What did you say? What did you call me? I gotta figure out her voice and make her aggressive. Alright, okay. What did you say? What did you call me? She must have heard him. In the blink of an eye, Alisa jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. Alright, you'll manage her from here onwards. Electronic took to his heels. I don't know what to do! Okay, I'm saving. I don't know how much impact these decisions is gonna have on the outcome of the, on anything. Do nothing. Get punched. Alisa, running past, stopped for a moment and growled. I'll deal with you later. Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I added forced guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? She made no reply and carried on chasing electronic, supersonic, electronic. Who's posting Cyrillics, or I think those Cyrillics in my my chat. I can't read Cyrillics. Looks like I have time to kill alone. Or it looks like I'll have to kill time alone, waiting for dinner. I decided to go east, at least in the direction where east would be my world. Or where east would be in my world. Soon after, I found myself near a football pitch. A game was in full swing there. I guess watching for a bit wouldn't do any harm. In my childhood and teen years, I was not a bad player myself, and even though I was going professional, but a few injuries in a row killed my desire to risk my health for the sake of uncertain chance in the game. Kids of different ages were running around the pitch. I could see a boy about 10 and a girl about 14 years old. A girl. Hey, that's the USSR. Alright. She plays football. What's so surprising? She seems a restless one after all. I was standing quite far from the pitch, but she still noticed me. Hey you! Yulana shouted. Wanna play? I didn't know how to answer. On one hand, running around for 10 minutes is no big deal. On the other hand, any wrong move in this situation could be my final one. But in any case, my attire wasn't suitable for this weather. If I played in winter boots and warm jeans, I would sweat like a pig. Playing barefoot and without jeans would be simply unethical. Maybe another time, alright? I shouted in response, turned around and walked back. I was followed by Yolana's screams about my pants, or not being pansy, or something like that, or not being pansy or something like that. Evening was falling, making me feel tired and empty after a day wasted with no real purpose. I came back to the square, sat down on a bench, and gave an exhausted sigh. I better sit and wait for dinner. After all, it's easier to search for answers when you're not hungry. They do give food to the people here, right? You know, it's curious how the simplest human needs can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something. For example, I feel hungry now, so I care much less about where I am or what's happening to me. Could great people feel so affected by this? Or could great people also be affected by this? And in that case, how did Spartacus start the slave uprising in ancient times? I can only conclude that I am not a great person, and that does not really matter which mechanism I serve as a gear in society, the Matrix, or a weird pioneer camp. My thoughts were interrupted by the sound of bells chiming from a loudspeaker on a light pole. It must be the dinner call. I headed towards the canteen, and it was a good thing that now I knew where it was. Olga Dmitri was there, standing on the porch. I stopped and looked closely at her as if I were expecting something. She looked back at me for a while, but at last came closer. Oh, she gonna check me out again? Or, well, I don't think she checked me out last time. But she gonna check me out this time? Simon, what are you waiting for? Come in already. I guess nothing bad could happen if I go with her. My stomach backed me up here. The two of us went inside. The canteen looked like a canteen. Wait, why are there so many kids here? My paradise of girls is full of kids. I had no chance to visit a factory canteen at some point in my life. Or I had a chance to visit a factory canteen at some point in my life. This one was exactly the same. It's maybe a bit cleaner and more modern. Metal chairs and tables, glazed tiles on the walls and on the floor, unsophisticated tableware with the occasional crack. Guess that's what a canteen in a pioneer camp is supposed to look like. Simon, wait a moment. We'll find a place to sit. We'll find you a place to sit. She looked around the place. Hold it right there. Olga Dimitri shouted at Elisa, who was passing by. What? What's up with your clothes? Anything wrong with them? Indeed, her attire looked somewhat provocative. Get your uniform nice and neat now. Alright. Oi. 0 out of 10. What is this? I can't put on clothes. Elisa got her shirt right and walked past, shooting an unpleasant glare at me. So, where can we find you a place to sit? There weren't a lot of free seats. Over there, next to Ilana. Yeah, it's fine. The food's already on the table, too. I had no other choice but to accept. The common Russian language, kotleta. Cutlet is minced meat, fried or baked in the shape of a ball or a cylinder close to the American patties. Compt is a drink made by boiling fresh or dried out fruit in a large amount of water. Compt in French. Comte, I just compte. Of course, there was the probability that the cutlets were poisoned with a curare. Mashed potatoes, generously seasoned with arsenic, and a glass filled with excellent antifreeze instead of compt. But it all looked so tasty that I had no chance to resist. Hey! What do you want? I replied, rather rudely to Ilana, who was sitting next to me. Why didn't you play football with us? Because of my clothes, I said, pointing at the source of the problem. Oh, yeah. Oh, alright, then eat. However, there wasn't much left to eat. My cutlet was missing from my plate. Only she could have done it. No, more precisely, none but Ilana could have done it. Give me back my cutlet. In a big family, you snooze, you lose. It can cost you a cutlet if you're careless. Give it back, I'm telling you. I like Hatsune Miku music. Should I attempt to take it or should I not attempt to take it? I'll attempt to take it. I looked at her menacingly and was about to reach out my hand. See, I don't have it. And indeed, Ilana's plate was empty. It seemed that this little girl eats as fast as she steals someone's cutlets. Take it easy. Oh, my mouse is on the get out of here. Take it easy. We'll work something out now. She grabbed a plate and ran off. There was no point in following her. If they wanted to poison me here, they could have done it in a much easier way. After a minute later, Ilana returned and handed me a plate with steaming hot cutlet on it. Here's one for the starving. Or, here's one for the starving. Thanks, was all I could say. I was so hungry that my suspicions were gone in a flash. I picked up the cutlet with my fork and... What the? Some bug. No, not a bug. An insect. It got legs and is wriggling. The plate fell to the floor and broke in pieces. The chair hit me hard on my leg while falling. I've disliked insects since I was a child, but when these creepy crawlies appear on my plate, it does just way too much. You little... Yuna seemed ready for such a twist and was already on the floor laughing as if she had just heard a fresh stand-up comedy joke. I dashed after her. We ran out of the canteen. They were a dozen meters apart, and I felt I would catch this little girl easily. We went through the square, past the club's house, into the forest path. I started to gasp for breath. I should have quit smoking, I guess. I'm gonna pass out of sight in front of the next turn. It can't be true that she managed to get away from me. It simply can't. I stopped and tried to catch my breath. Night was falling. Looks like I'm lost. It's a bad idea to stay in the woods at night. Better get back to the camp. However, I had absolutely no clue which way to go. Well, gotta choose at random. I wandered for quite some time in the forest and even thought of crying for help, but finally saw the camp's fence beyond the trees. Everything fell back into place. The bus is gone. I mumbled quietly. On one hand, there was nothing strange about that. The bus couldn't just stay there forever. On the other hand, it meant that there was someone driving it because buses don't drive themselves. Or do they? This world seemed too normal, but every event here had at least two explanations for it. An ordinary, real, everyday explanation, and a surreal one. Certainly, the driver could have just been off for a snack, and I left too soon, and that's why. In any case, it's not the place for me. Whether the bus drives itself or was probably an important question, but it was much more important to know how I had got here in the first place, or how I got there at all. And where this here was. The fields and woods stretching out towards the horizon had no answers. There was nothing familiar about them. A strange, odd, and alien world. However, at the time, it was absolutely not frightening. Either my self-preservation instinct decided to resign from its job, or all this running around the camp and local pioneers had lulled me so much that with their carefree normality, I was simply forgetting what had happened to me just a couple of hours ago. Although I probably had no strength left to worry. All I wanted was some peace, calmness. I wanted to have just a break from it all, and only after that would I continue looking for answers ready and reloaded. However, that would be some time later. And what about now? Can I allow myself to relax? It got completely dark, and in any case, it was better to spend the night in the camp. I was about to head back when someone came up silently from behind. Hello. Hello. What are you doing here so late? It was Salavia before me. Ugh. Why am I yawning so much? I'm still yawning. Ooh. Ugh. It was Salavia standing before me. I was so surprised that I jumped. So you didn't catch Giovanna, did you? Did you? She smiled. I nodded desperately inside. No wonder. No one ever has. Yeah, she's a real rocket girl. She could have found a better use for her energy than looking for adventures. You must be hungry. You didn't manage to have dinner at all. Indeed, I'd completely forgot about my hunger, but after these words of hers, my stomach drew attention to itself by giving a traitorous rumble. Sylvia smiled. Let's go then. What? Is the canteen still open? It's alright, I have the keys. The keys? Yes, I have the keys for all the facilities in this camp. How come? Well, I'm something like the camp's leader's aide here. Ah, I see. Well, let's go. It was an offer you couldn't refuse. When we reached the square, Sylvia stopped in her tracks. Excuse me, I should warn my roommate that I'll be late, she's so punctual herself that she'll be worried otherwise. You go to the canteen and I'll come in a minute, alright? Alright. I really did not expect to find somebody aside from myself at such a late hour. And that somebody was apparently trying to hopelessly open the door. Without any secret thoughts, I walked up onto the porch. Hey, why's she wearing her clothes normally? The lockpicker turned out to be Elisa. I should have probably kept off and waited. She looked at me intently for a while and said, "Don't just stand there and give me a hand or something. Don't just stand there and give me a hand or something." Meaning, help me open the door. Help me open the door. I don't know how to do. I keep forgetting her voice. Her voice changes every time. I think all of their voices change every time I talk as them. Why? Because I want some buns and kefir. Dinner wasn't big enough. Is that really a good idea? Aren't you hungry yourself? Huh? Yolanda didn't let you have normal dinner, did she? She smiled sarcastically. You know, I wonder what would happen if Yolanda got her. I don't know what she would do. She seems very aggressive. It's true, she didn't. It's fine. Slavia will come now and... What? What? I guess I shouldn't have said that. I'm off then. And you'll pay for this. You owe me 2 already. Having said that, Elisa disappeared into the night. And what was the first one? Sylvia didn't keep me waiting for too long. Is everything alright? Yeah, why are you asking? No reason, it's nothing. It would be better if I didn't tell her about Elisa. Everything's fine. I said that and immediately heard a note of dishonesty in my voice. Shall we go? As for Slavia, she seemed not to have noticed anything, or at least she was pretending she hadn't. We entered the canteen. Wait a bit, I'll go get something. I sat down on the chair and immediately waited for my savior. My dinner was simple, a few buns and a glass of kefir. No wonder, I bet Hungry Pioneers finished everything off. Hey, we're eating Elisa's food. She wanted this. That's what she wanted. However, even that was far better than most of my usual diet. Slavia sat across the table and looked at me while I was eating. Is there something on my face? Or is there something on my face? No, just... She smiled. So, did you like your first day in the camp? Well, I don't really know. It's silly to ask someone who suddenly found himself in a different reality whether he liked the food in the canteen, the camp leader, or his assigned hut. It's alright, you'll soon get used to it. Sylvia stared out of the window dreamily. Frankly speaking, I have no desire to get used to such things, but as for her, she doesn't know. Or at least she wants me to think that she doesn't. Well, all in all, it is nice here. I had to somehow break the awkward silence. Do you think so? She asked without any interest. Yeah, this place is so... I wanted to say retro, but I managed to hold that back. After all, it was retro for me, but what about them? It might actually be the only kind of life they knew. If the term life was applicable here at all. So how? She watched me closely, as if something important depended on my answer. Well, I don't know. Lovely. Yeah, it's lovely here. I guess you're right. She smiled again. It's very good that you think so. Why? Well, not everybody likes it here. And what about you? Me? Yes. I love it here. It's great. I love it here. It's great. Then you don't need to worry about what other people think. Well, I don't really worry. Sylvia laughed. This conversation seemed to be leading me far astray from where I wanted to get to. And you're worried yourself. Was that me? Who said that? Oh, yeah, that was my thoughts. And you're worried yourself. Really? Why do you say so? Well, When someone is chewing so intensely. I'm sorry. It's okay. I couldn't bring myself to be more cautious about this girl. But why her in particular? Why not any of the other local inhabitant? Why not any other local inhabitant? Every one of them looked completely normal to me. Precisely normal. So normal that it sends chills down my spine and into my marrow. Normal, not like a neighbor with a power drill in one hand and a subwoofer in the other. Not like the passenger you can often meet in a subway car or in public transport. Not like a coworker at the next table in the open plan office. Or an open plan office. And not even like like a friend who only differs from other humans in his constant insistence. All of them looked normal, as I would expect them to be, with their own downsides, but without any superpowers. And Slavia was also cute. I glanced at her stealthily, not knowing what to say. I'm sorry, I wanted to show you the camp, but it was ran off my feet. I didn't miss anything while you were on your own, or while on my own, I guess. Are you sure you haven't missed anything at all? She smiled so brightly that I had to drop my eyes in confusion. Well, how would I know? It's my first day here. Okay, what have you seen so far? I've seen the square, this canteen, the football field. And what about the beach? Just from afar. You really should go there. Or let's do it together. Yeah, okay, we will. Her naturalness started to scare me, but then I thought, what if everything that happens here is how it's supposed to be, and this world looks strange only to me, while for them it is normal? Maybe I was thrown into the past. Yeah, that would explain a lot. Can I ask you a stupid question? No. Sylvia smiled and stood up from the table. It's late. Can you find the way to Old Gummy Trees by yourself? Of course, but why should I go there? She'll settle you with someone. What for? Probably this question seemed stupid because Sylvia burst into a good-natured laughter. You need to sleep somewhere, right? That makes sense. Fine, I'll be off. Fine, I'll be off then. Good night. Night. It's strange that she left in such a hurry. A bundle of keys in the left door caught my attention. A bundle of keys left in the door. Was she going to catch up to... I was going to catch up to Slavia, but where does she live? And knocking on every door in the middle of the night wouldn't sound like a bright idea. Oh, what should I do? I'm going to take the keys. I'm going to take the keys. Oh, I'm just making weird noises over here. Don't worry about me. I'm just stretching. I don't know why. I just feel like I really need to stretch. Ugh. I'd better take them. I'll give them back tomorrow because who knows what happens here at night. Such thoughts gave me chills. It's me who needs to be careful here in the first place. The night, though dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear chirping crickets, the songs of the night birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. A sudden desire to follow Slavia's advice and go to the camp leader's cabin appeared. I don't know why, but the sight of the unknown bronze builder of communism put me in a constructive mood. I sat on the bench and started to recall everything that happened today. That was all my constructive mood could offer. Here was much brighter than near the canteen, and tardy pioneers were running by, so this place didn't seem scary at all. But summer camp girls. I was so tired from everything new and strange that I could not come up with a single explanation for what was going on. I heard a barely noticeable rustle nearby. I shivered and looked in that direction. A girl, reading a book. Lena. I decided to move closer and talk. She was the only new person I had met here without exchanging even a few words. Hi, what are you reading? Lena was so surprised that she even jumped. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Never mind. She blushed and stared at the book again. What are you reading? So what are you reading? The cover was written Gone with the Wind. Alright, I have 120 save slots, too. Or not 120. 12 times 9, whatever that is. I think 109. Or not 109. I don't know. Praise the book. A good book. Thanks. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits her very well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing the conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you... No, she answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? And really, why? Maybe just because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone. Maybe I wanted to try to find something out from her. I carefully examined Lena. But no, I doubt that. Well, I don't know. I'm not allowed to? Feel free. But if I'm bothering you... No, you're not. I can leave, just say, everything's alright. Okay then. I sat on the end of the bench carefully. After such an intense talk, staying here was the last thing I wanted, but it wouldn't be nice just to stand up and leave. That didn't really go well, huh? Lena hadn't answered anything. It seems I made a fool out of myself. I bet if Yulana was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. Do you enjoy being here? I recalled Slavia's question and thought it would be a good question for the start of a conversation. Yes. She smiled slightly. I guess I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable and probably can't carry a meaningless conversation as easy as Slavia. But there was something about her that attracted attention. Like a momentary glimpse of a reflection in the glass on a rainy autumn evening, which makes you turn around and stare into darkness searching for something that you saw in the corner of your eye. What are all these descriptions of things? Like they describe, like the word, like the way they describe things is really good. I'm feeling cold. I'm gonna go put on a jacket. I keep leaving during the middle of this stream. Or while I'm just randomly. Alright, I'm back. Of course, you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it felt so tempting. Lena was reading the book without paying any attention to my presence. I had no intention of asking her anything about this camp, or this world in general. Beautiful night. Yes. How in a world would you start a conversation with her? It's late, I have to go. Yes, it's quite late. Good night. Night. There was something strange about this girl. At first glance, she's a typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the mystery of Lena took its own place in the massive list of mysteries. But this camp, which I had started to put together in my head, A lazy evening, there's nothing like a good time with nothing to do. I headed towards Olga Dimitri's cabin. The light in the house was on. You know, this looks like that Mystery Shack, except green. You know, from like Gravity Falls. Like, I'm pretty sure it had a roof like that, but there was a bit more to it than just this roof. The light in the house was on. Hello, Simon. You're quite late. Yeah. I went for a walk around the camp. Okay, if I press this, will it go back? Oh, that just shows the history? Okay. Press it. How do I get out of here now? You're quite late. Yeah. I went for a walk around the camp. Or, I went for a walk to look around the camp. Alright. You won't be sleeping here. Ooh! Sleeping in a girl's room. She pointed her finger at one of the beds. Right here? I was a bit surprised. Yeah, is something wrong? We're out of free cabins anyway. The camp leader smiled, but I rather think it was just out of pointlessness or politeness. Do you want to be a decent pioneer? You do want to be a decent pioneer, don't you? There's a clear emphasis on the word decent. Yep, sure. Ah, I keep pressing the wrong button. I was lost in thought for a moment. Don't you mind it, mademoiselle? She looked at me oddly, with surprise and some offense in her eyes. A pioneer should respect their elders. Olga Dimitri said strictly. I'll just call her Olga. I don't know why he's saying her full name. Well, I do the same thing. I call people by their full name sometimes. Of course, he should. No one argues with that. I blathered, not realizing what was wrong. Shouldn't you also... She stared at me. After such a gaze, even Mithril forged by the best dwarf masters from the deepest dungeons would melt. Should I what? What's up, top toots? Annoyance and lack of understanding made me raise my voice. You must address adults properly. Yes, of course. There's a lot of strange things here, but this girl is just a couple years older than me, or maybe even younger. I decided not to argue. Well, just a few minutes ago, I would never have called her an adult. I have to admit that she was also given a strong character. In any case, I wasn't in a position to argue. As you say, ma'am, I mumbled. That's much better. That's how a decent pioneer should conduct himself. Now it's time to sleep. Honestly speaking, I was going to become neither a decent nor indecent, honestly speaking, I was going to become neither a decent nor indecent pioneer. Yesterday, I wasn't going to become a pioneer at all. But do I have a choice now? If you don't want to, we'll have to make you. This is the motto Olga was probably gonna use. I climbed into bed and closed my eyes, only to realize how tired I was after today. Something hammered in my head as if my brains had started a night shift. And they seemed to be aimed more at rolling steel than walking on something more sensitive. The bus flew through my mind, and the square with the monument, the canteen full of pioneers, the malicious face of Yelena, Slavia. Ooh, best scene in the game so far. Lena. And even recalling Elisa didn't give me too much of a negative feeling. What if I'm here for good? Day 2. I wasn't having a dream. It seemed like I was in some sort of vacuum, with nothing but nothing around me. But not only around, I was the only creature in the universe, as if the universe had returned to a state of singularity right before the Big Bang, and something was about to happen. Suddenly, I heard a voice. I could not make it out in words, but it sounded familiar. The voice was whispering something gently as if I spoke or as if suiting me. And when I realized, it was the voice of a strange girl from the bus, the girl from the dream. But what is she trying to tell me? Who is she? I woke up. The bright sunlight struck my eyes. Oh. I don't know why I feel like I need to stretch so much. Like I feel like I need to stretch like every couple minutes. Ugh. I really like the poster on the wall. Just saying again. It's really nice. I hope I slept on this side. It was an awesome poster. Probably did because of this right here. It was almost noon. After stretching lazily out on the bed and yawning, I started to recall the previous day. In a few seconds, all its previous events passed before my eyes. The bus, the camp, the local inhabitants. No, that's just wrong. Not this whole situation, not me being here. It was wrong by default. My attitude towards what was happening was wrong. Something happened to me right now. I don't know. Okay. Because yesterday I fell asleep here just like that, and before that I chatted nicely with the local pioneers, even managed to crack a few jokes. How could I act like that in such a situation? I should be frightened, startled by every little rustling. I should be frightened, startled by every little rustling, should avoid all contact with the potentially hostile creatures. Yes, these pioneer girls are very hostile. The last day's events were getting hazy, like I had a hangover. This really feels like the morning after a heavy drinking party. Yesterday's natural, flawless, absolutely normal conduct becomes a nightmare in the morning. The grotesque illusion from the divine comedy. Yes, it's just like that, and I can't change the past now. Then again, I had probably assessed the situation and was acting accordingly. I glanced around trying to figure out whether I had been thrown somewhere else, but Olga's cabin looked the same as yesterday. Everything seemed to be in its place, except for the pioneer uniform, which was hanging from the bedhead. I fumbled with it in distrust and tried it on. At least it's better than walking around in winter clothes. I wish I could see myself. I bet I look like a clown. And for that, I need a mirror. I used a tiny one. I finally found one on the wardrobe door. Holy! I looked at the newfound pioneers and jumped away in surprise. There was some teenager on the other side of the mirror. He resembled me, but he wasn't me. Where did the weak stubble go? Where did the bags under my eyes, the slouch, and the deathly fatigue on my face? It seemed that I had been thrown back in time or into a parallel reality, but instead had simply changed bodies with someone else. That's right. Right. That's right. Right. That's right. Right. That's real simple. I don't know why I circled there so much. Such things happen every day. I took a closer look at this stranger, and only then I realized that it was actually me. It just wasn't today's me. Maybe one from between my school and university years. Well, at least that's something. There you go. The person in an extreme situation did fail to notice the elegant... There you go. The person in an extreme situation did fail to notice the elephant in the room after all. But the camp leader noticed it, And last night, she told me off for addressing her without proper respect. Ah, screw that. I doubt my appearance affects anything else. If the clock was not lying, my breakfast was long over. Oh well. Oh well. I'll try to find something in the canteen. It worked out well yesterday. Was still Slavia, didn't it? Those memories made me smile involuntarily. The sun was shining brightly outside. A light breeze was blowing. A beautiful summer day. I had not felt so good in the morning for several years. All problems were gone, vanished into the clouds that were white as snow. Dmitri came out of nowhere. Good morning, Semyon. Good morning. I smiled, doing my best to show that no matter what, my morning was indeed good. You only arrived yesterday, so I decided not to wake you up, but breakfast... Never mind, here, take this. She handed me something wrapped in paper. Judging by the oily stains, there had been sandwiches inside. Thank you. Now go wash yourself. I was about to leave. Wait a second. Olga quickly ran into the house and came out to shove a small bag into my hands. Inside it, I found a toothbrush, soap, a small towel, and something else. I did not look too closely. A pioneer should always be clean and tidy. Let me do your neckerchief properly for you this first time. Yours is askew. You should do it yourself once you learn how to. Do I have to? I'm going to wash myself now. Yeah, right. It could get hooked on the tap and strangle me. Fine. Later then. And don't forget about the lineup. Pencils, paper, drawing lines. You don't forget such things. What lineup? What do you mean, what lineup? She frowned. It's Monday today. Weird. By my approximation, it should have been Sunday. Then again, a shift in the day of the weeks is hardly the worst thing. Usually we have lineups early in the morning before breakfast, but it's Monday today, so we're having it at 12 o'clock. Don't be late. Alright, but where? At the square. Where else? There was no reason to argue. I headed to the bathing place. I knew I could forget about separate showers and toilet. But at the sight of this malfunctioning symptom of decaying socialism, a funny turtle with a tin shell, paw taps, and ceramic belly, I felt sick. I'm not a squeamish person, but nevertheless, standing there, I realized that there was still some minimal level of habitual comfort which I found it troublesome to do without. It's often like that. When you lose things that you thought were ordinary and common, you suddenly understand how essential they were. Ah, screw this, as if I have any choice. We have some nice water. The water was ice cold. While washing my hands was not an issue, washing my face and mouth became a big problem. There was no toothpaste in the bag which Olga Dmitri gave me. I could brush my teeth without it, but there was a small round box wrapped in a towel. Tooth powder. Cute. 1 point for me being somewhere in the past. I washed myself quite quickly, also due to the ice-cold water. Someone was coming quickly, or more like running towards me. I turned around. It was Slavia, dressed in a tracksuit. The girl would probably look good in anything. Pioneer uniform, bikini, probably even a spacesuit. Hey there. Oh. Hi-yo. I mean, what's up? Good morning. Was he about to say, speak Japanese? Ohayo gozaimasu. Oh yeah, real smooth. Yeah, like butter. Why didn't you come for breakfast? I overslept. I said it as if I'm proud about it. But Olga Dmitri gave me some sandwiches. Ooh, great then. Don't forget about the lineup. Yeah, sure. As if I could forget. Right, gotta run. Or, right, gotta run. Enjoy yourself. Give her her keys, dude. What are you doing? She waved goodbye to me and disappeared around the past bend. Looks like it's a couple of minutes until the lineup. I should quickly pass by my home and drop off my washing bag and eat the sandwiches and then head to the square. I swung open the door of the camp leader's house and rushed inside, as if jumping into the last car of a departing train. It didn't turn out to be the best idea because inside I found Dimitri, who was changing. I froze on the spot, trying not to breathe. Finally, the camp leader noticed me. Simon! I looked away immediately. Have you heard him knocking? Get out! Now get out! Wait, why didn't we see what was happening there? What? 0 out of 10 game. What is this? Didn't show us the best part. Jeez. What am I playing this game for if they don't show us the stuff? Although I did enjoy the sight. Well, I couldn't enjoy the sight. Selfish. Dimitri followed me out in a minute. Here, take this. What were you changing? You're wearing the exact same clothes. Now it's your home too. She handed me a key. I put it in my pocket. Home. Of course, if you disregard how fantastical the current events were, the camp was far from being the worst place on earth. But to call it home, just another day spent here. I doubt I'll ever be able to do so. Alright, let's go. We're late. But what about the sandwiches? Just eat them on the way. We were passing along the lines of the pioneers' cabins while I was tucking into the ham sandwiches, and Olga Dimitri was talking and talking. She was buzzing like a game of Operation with Parkinson's. I cared about nothing but the food. Understood? Huh? You weren't listening? Sorry. Today's the first day of your new life as a pioneer. And you should do your best so that it becomes a happy life. Ah, yeah, definitely. I'm serious. A pioneer has many duties. Great responsibility is conferred upon him to participate in social work, to help his juniors to study and study again. We here are like one big family, and you will become part of it. Yeah, a part. I'd even sign a party membership card. I'd even sign a party membership card if I could save me from listening to this nonsense. I hope that after your term here is over, you'll keep most pleasant memories about... I'm getting worse. I'm messing up my reading more and more often. Have I been doing this too long? Maybe. I hope that after your term here is over, you'll keep the most pleasant memories about our camp. Memories that will last your whole life. And when will this term end? Why do you keep asking silly things? It seems I won't get any information from her. A shame, really. This world appears to be so friendly, but it never bothered to introduce itself to me. Perhaps now I can take things somewhat easier than yesterday. Yesterday? It seems like I have some unspoken ceasefire with it. It isn't trying to hurt me, but I'm forbidden from asking questions. Of course, this situation isn't a pleasant one, but what can I do about it? A bad peace is better than a good dispute. The most important thing for you is to make the best of the time you will spend here. I'll do my best. Oh, was that Dimitri or Olga who said that? Honestly, I was very tired of this conversation. It would be good to know where that here is, but we came to the square. The pioneers were already lined up. What, is somebody not here yet? Nope. Nope, all here. She looked around at her brave pioneer troops. Alright, go stand somewhere. Weird. Why did she tell me there were no more sleeping places? Is that the whole camp? The canteen was much more full than that. And where am I? So are there all the people? It's interesting how the art style changed. Let me. Oh, I'm peeking my mic. I'm relocating it. I'm moving it. Or I'm repositioning myself, so I'm moving it. While the chief was running her mouth. Oh, let me move my laptop too. Ugh. Just like resituating myself. Alright, I think I'm good. While the chief was running her mouth about our plans for the week, I stared at the people. A few heads away from me stuck Electronic, and a little further, Lena and Sylvia. At the end of the line, Ilana and Elisa. Everyone I had met was here. Well, everyone should be here, if it's a camp-wide meeting. Olga spoke about some competitions, and I turned my attention to the monument. Genda. I could not remember any revolutionary with a similar name. He had a weird posture too, as if he was looking around with distrust, maybe contempt, or even disdain. Probably some local leader. Daydreaming again? Daydreaming again? Savia brought me back to reality. Olga Dmitrievna stood nearby. Still remember the plan for the week? The plan? Yeah, the plan? I'll never forget the plan. Perfect. She looked at Slavia. Did you bring it? Yes. They both have the same voice. It's gonna get confusing when they start talking together. Slavia handed a piece of paper. It's a checklist. Here are 4 tasks to check off. Do it all today. Before you start, sign up for a club. There are some clubs in the clubhouse, and a musical club in the separate building. Ooh, let's go to the musical club. That's what I want to do. Then visit the infirmary. And finally visit the library. Got it? Yes. The checklist seemed like a good chance to find out something, since I had to go places I haven't been before. Then come on. Start right now. What about lunch? Don't worry, I'll bring you more sandwiches. The checklist is more important. Good luck! They departed too fast for me to ask anything else. I missed breakfast. Now lunch too? This ain't good. Maybe I'll manage in time somehow. Lunch starts at 1 p.m. Then again, if I'll go there, I might miss a place for a check from a check. Lunch starts at 1 p.m. Then again, if I'll go there, I might miss a place from the checklist. Why does lunch start so late? 1 p.m. That's like really late. When's their breakfast? Maybe we have lunch early here in America. Okay, it's too early to go to the canteen anyway. Alright, map. Bus stop, old building. Beach. Buoys. Boathouse, booth. I don't know why I'm reading the names of all the things. Why are these 2 girls over here? Oh! Oh, are these their houses? Oh, I can go to place. I can choose where to go. She said library first, right? No. Yeah, it's library, infirmary, then a club, I think. Actually, I love reading, but spending my days in a library under the current circumstances was beyond my scope. So I'd better hurry up with this checkpoint. As I stepped inside, a memory from my childhood emerged in my head. It was very vivid. I'm 7 or 8 years old at the library with my mother. While she's looking through the books while she's looking through books that I might need for my studies, I'm sitting in the corner and looking through their collection of comic books. Then I didn't know why they had so many, or I couldn't. Back then I didn't know why they had so many, or why I couldn't take them with me. The notion of a collective property was something that my mind hadn't grasped yet at that age. However, back when the whole concept of property was pretty hazy to me. This memory seemed even stranger now, while I was standing in this particular camp where they might have managed to build communism in 3 years. My reading is really falling off. I can feel myself slowing down. I might take a break and return to the stream later. I'll probably do that. I'm gonna save. How do we get back to the menu? Main menu. Yes. Alright, let's look at the gallery. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure these different choices would have given me some different scenes. That's interesting, the order of it. Backgrounds. There's a lot of backgrounds too. And then sprites. Sprite. Let's see. Let's go electronic. Dress. Pioneer. Emotion. Normal. Too many layers to that. Alright, I'll be back in I'm gonna take a break because my brain can't process these words anymore. I've been reading for 2 hours. Wow. Well, I keep saying this, but I'll be back in a bit. I don't know how long, but yeah. See ya.